What do I think about men critiquing other men? All right. So this is something I've been hearing a little bit more and more in the manosphere. Certain channels are starting to talk about it, and it's kind of always been a theme in the manosphere for men to try to help other men and hold other men accountable, quote unquote, and all this kind of shit. So this meme here is shared by a group on Facebook called Thoughts Men Aren't Supposed to Think. The meme says, why does it seem easier to get men to discuss women's failures than to discuss male progress and what that looks like? Parentheses, helping other men, personal growth and accountability, etc. All right, here's my thoughts on this. First of all, most men don't need to be held accountable because we're already held accountable. Okay? Most men don't need other men to try to critique them or encourage them to get better or that kind of bullshit. This kind of thinking, in my opinion, from my experience, stems from profiteers. This type of thinking stems from people who benefit and profit off of men's insecurities and men's own failures, quote unquote, because as men, we have to rely wholly on ourselves, solely on ourselves. We have no other out. There's no excuse for a man, okay? In 9 times out of 10 cases, whereas women, they can always blame men. Women are always, oh, my life sucks because men suck, because I can't find a decent man, or my boyfriend's bummy and he doesn't do this for me. Women are always pushing their problems off onto men, whereas men, we have to take the brunt of the accountability. We have to take the brunt of the experience. Again, it's a profiteer concept, because men are already insecure about our own ability, our own talents, our own accomplishments. Men's self-worth is based on what we can succeed at, on what we can provide, our resources, our successes. We hang our hat on that, unfortunately, and we need to learn. In fact, we need the opposite of this. We need to train ourselves to be happy in ourselves, in and of ourselves, and just be just be. I watched this great video. I'm going to show you guys. Let me see if I can find it. Great video. I think it was last night, and it actually made me feel really good. I just thought, wow, this is a really good video, man. This really helps me. And it's about how, when your life gets shitty. Here it is. It's called When Life Falls Apart. I'm not going to show it to you, but it's called When Life Falls Apart, Does It Actually Fall Into Place? A Buddhist story by this guy, Ainsel Ganger. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. But there you go. You see the channel. That's the video. You can go YouTube it. That's a great video because it talks about things that are out of our control, right? When life happens and it's out of our control. But see, in the manosphere, particularly when it comes to profiteers and these guys and I can think of a couple right off top. Elliot Hulse is probably one of the biggest ones who does this. Jordan Peterson to a big extent does this, although I appreciate Jordan Peterson with what he does because he uses a lot of, he really cares, and I don't think he's simply just a profiteer. He is a profiteer, but I don't think he's simply just doing it to make money, whereas somebody like Elliot Hulse is pretty damn obvious. And some of these guys like Donovan Sharp and Richard Cooper, they dip into this as well when they're talking about chase male excellence and all this shit. Here's the thing, man. Men already do that. We already do that. We already are extremely self-conscious about our success. And there's this concept out there that this young generation, all they do is play video games and they're lazy and they don't give a shit about character and wah wah woo woo blue blue blah blah, right? Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. Why? Because men, if a man is happy playing a video game, I'm happy because the man is happy. Because men do not have enough happiness. We get thrown under the bus in every scenario. We get thrown under the bus in dating. We get thrown under the bus in relationships. We get thrown under the bus in the sexual market. We get thrown under the bus in the financial aspect. We get thrown under the bus in the political aspect. Men are disposable. Men are a means to an end. Men are utility. So if a guy steps aside and says, fuck it, I don't want no parts of this. I'm going to go play video games and watch porn. Good. Good for you, dude. You've stepped out of the matrix. You are no longer a tool. You are no longer Mr. Beta who's going to do everything right. Mr. Oh, I need to perform for my boss, and I need to perform for my family, and I need to perform to get a girlfriend. And good, dude. You stepped outside of the box. Fucking, I applaud that. I will give you a standing ovation, a salute, take off my hat, clap. Good for fucking you, because any man who's happy, I'm happy. You're happy playing video games and watching porn? Awesome, dude. I'm happy for you too. You're happy smoking weed and going out and partying? Awesome, dude. I'm happy for you, because men are not happy enough. Not enough men are happy, because we take the burden of everything. We have the burden of performance. We have the burden of accountability and responsibility. Women do not. Okay? Women do not. So why does it seem easier to get men to discuss women's failures? Because nobody fucking does it. This whole internet red pill culture, this is new. It's new. It's probably only really taken flight in the last 5 years. Even before that, it was struggling. There was lots of resistance from feminists. They used to write articles about us, from even white knights and just general people on the internet. I've been struggling with this for 10 years. Whenever I'll post any statistical truth about marriage, divorce, or even domestic violence, which is, the statistics on that are skewed and fucked up, and I can prove it. And rape statistics, they're skewed and fucked up by feminists. Feminists have infiltrated legislation. They've infiltrated literally the CDC, literally the crime statistics. They've literally infiltrated and changed around wording so that it looks like women get raped more than men when it's really not true. All this kind of evil, insidious shit that goes on the inside to throw men under the bus. And this is a concerted effort. Make no mistake, man. Make no mistake. There is a conspiracy against men. For decades, this has been going on since the 60s and 70s when radical feminism took flight. There has been a concerted effort by conspiracy theory-minded people to infiltrate legislation, infiltrate colleges, teach Marxism, teach radical feminism as if it's a social norm, make it a social norm to throw men under the bus. It's not a joke, man. It's for real. Oh, you're paranoid. No, it's real, dude. I can prove it. Okay? I can prove it statistically. It's what I talk about on my channel. Go watch my other videos. It's just what it is, man. Men get thrown under the bus. So why does it seem easier? Because nobody does it. Because just like Voltaire, is either Voltaire or Nietzsche, I always forget. Be mindful of who you're not allowed to criticize. Who you can't criticize in society is who rules over you. That's a great quote. Who are we not allowed to criticize in society? The Jews and women. That's it. Think about the implications of that. Think about who started pornography in the 1970s. Think about what class of people did that. I'm just spitting facts. This is just the truth. I don't have any bent or prejudice against anybody or anything, but that's just the truth. Okay? So why does it seem easier to get men to discuss women's failures? Because that's what's keeping us down. That's our fucking main problem. Okay? Why are so many men disenfranchised? What's that quote? That great quote. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. I don't know who said that. Oscar Wilde. Somebody said that. John Steinbeck. Somebody fucking said that. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Most men are fucking depressed as hell because we don't get shit. We get nothing handed to us. Women get everything handed to them. Why does it seem easier? Because we need to talk about it. Because men are fucking sick and tired of it. We had it up to our gills. with all the bullshit we take. And the last thing we need is fucking other men to be like, hey bro, you know, you could do better at this and do that. Like, dude, either help me fucking make $1 million or shut the fuck up, because I'm already working as hard as I can. The last thing I need is one of my friends to be like, hey bro, you need to improve or else I'm gonna go hang out with somebody else. This fucking bullshit. Oh, the top 5, the top 5. You're the result of the top 5 people you hang out with. If you're in a room with people you're smarter with, then go to a better room. Like, shut the fuck up, Richard Cooper. Like, we work our hardest. Men always work our hardest because that's just how we are. Okay, and if we fucking decide to go be Tom Sawyer a little bit, but Huckleberry Finn, we decide to go be Huckleberry Finn and take a raft down the river and get the fuck out of society, you know, stop hating. Men are happy. Men deserve to be happy. If you're happy going out and being a fucking hick in the woods and smoking weed and drinking moonshine, good for fucking you, dude. Oh, you're happy? Good for fucking you. Like, good. You're happy? I'm happy that you're happy. Because we take enough bullshit from our employer, from our women, from other men. The last thing we need is other men to keep us accountable. The last thing we need is fucking, are you gonna, it's not, they're not helping you. They'll just be critiquing you. Yeah, men need to help other men, but do it in a real way. Oh, you want to help me? Help me make $1 million, dude. Let's start a fucking business. Dude, when I was younger, I had so many friends that I tried to start businesses with, and they'd be like, no, I don't want to do it. They didn't want to try. They didn't even want to fucking try. I was trying to start businesses with like 5 different friends. None of them wanted to try. They'd all rather just, let me just go work this shitty little job for $40K a year. It's like, dude, we could be making millions. Let's put our minds together. Men don't do that. And the ones who do, fucking Ben and Jerry, right? Fucking Bill Gates and fucking, what's his name? Steve Jobs. When they do put their minds together, you know, they create wonderful shit. But how often does that happen? How often do fucking men team up as entrepreneurs? They fucking never do it. Because men are always selfish. We're not solipsistic. There's a difference. We're selfish because we're individualistic. That's what men are. Women are solipsistic. Men are individualistic, and that's a big fucking problem. And it's one of the only things I agree with on feminism is that there is toxic masculinity, and that's part of toxic masculinity is being so goddamn individualistic that you can't even team up with one of your buddies to start a business. I can't tell you how many friends I've in my 20s I tried asking to start a business. At least 5. Maybe upwards of 10 that I tried to start a business with, and none of them would do it because they'd rather go for the quote unquote sure thing. They didn't want to invest a couple $1,000s and some time, maybe a year or so, to work at something they could have made millions, but they'd rather go work 8 hours a day at some